What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and I'm back in the building to do a recap of Married to Medicine. This is season 5, episode 9. So basically, the episode starts out with the argument still with Heavenly and Mariah arguing, and Heavenly telling Mariah that she never owns her shit. I would like to comment on that. Mariah never owns her shit. That bitch always plays victim. She deflects. She was sitting up there playing dumb like she don't know why everybody is tripping out. Bitch, you know damn well that you were shading Heavenly when you were honoring Toya. You were doing that. And everybody sitting up here mad at Symone for calling that shit out, but who else was going to call this shit out? It needed to be called out. And Heavenly, you going to end up telling Jackie that Symone started that shit. Now, yes, Symone was being messy. But at the same time, it needed... You know what? I'm not even going to say she was being messy, because that wasn't her motherfucking intent. What I will say is that Symone wanted to call Mariah's motherfucking ass to the carpet, because motherfucking Mariah needs to be called to the carpet when she is being shady and passive aggressive. And then Toya talking about well, this is cheap booze, and that's what that cheap booze do. Bitch, expensive shit can do that shit just as well. It could do that shit just as well. So I don't know what the fuck you is sitting up here talking about. But yeah, y'all, the motherfucking episode was just a motherfucking mess. And then we have motherfucking Jackie and Heavenly talking, and Jackie is asking Heavenly what happened, cause that shit, you done went from 0 to 100. Heavenly ass sitting up here talking about that bitch, she don't never own her shit. And I'm sick of that shit. And, that's pretty much how Heavenly felt about that. And Heavenly was like, didn't you hear her shade me? Didn't you think that comment was shady when she was honoring Toya? And Jackie said, yes, it was. You need to go on to church, girl. So that's pretty much what she told her. And they had a good little laugh about that. Next, there's a motherfucking storm, and Contessa tell the motherfuckers to get the fuck up out her house. Next, we got Jackie is stretching. She telling the damn trainer she hope he ain't got no gas. Toya's little son ain't listening to her. He don't want to hear that shit. Next, we got Heavenly and Daddy. Heavenly is greeting her man. I noticed, you guys, she is so nice with that man. Are you okay? You want something to eat? What you want? What you need? So they end up talking about how Heavenly's ass is always, saying your mama to Mariah, and she is, just always not reacting in the best way. And Heavenly admits to that. She's a work in progress, and she's still trying to do the best that, she can do. But Heavenly, I need you to realize something, that you are never going to change, bitch. So you need to stop having these little talks with your daughter and your husband about how you want to change, because it ain't gonna never motherfucking change. It ain't gonna never motherfucking change, and you don't plan on changing. You already know you don't plan on changing your motherfucking ways, Heavenly, so you can just skip me with that. You miss me with that, Heavenly. But I do like you. I feel like you bring a lot to the show. But you was sick of Mariah's shit, and you wanted to call her motherfucking ass to the carpet. And I don't have a fucking issue with that. But your husband, he needs you to calm down. And Heavenly is pretty much saying to him, well, honey, I wish I was more monotone like you. And it was funny how her husband was like, I'm not monotone. Don't nobody want to be called monotone, Heavenly. She was like, well, you mild-mannered like Jackie. And he was just like, yeah, but me and Jackie really try to do that. And Heavenly, you don't want to do that. And which is fine, because that's who you are. You go off. And that bitch, she deserved to be cussed at and fussed at. Mariah does deserve that, because Mariah was being funny and sneaky. You know, so, but Heavenly, you do need to stop bringing her mother into it. You can't apologize, honey, and then you know, and then you go back to saying your mama. But I think you say that because you really want to hurt Mariah and get under her skin, and I think you do get under her skin when you say that. So that's pretty much with them. Next we have Contessa and her husband. They are dealing with the fact of how Miss Renee doesn't work for them anymore and how it's been more than a week and she's been working for them for over 10 years. And you could really tell Contessa is still considering Miss Renee as her worker. Bitch, she fired herself, Contessa. So she don't want shit to do with you or them kids. She's done. She fed up with it. Your husband even mentioned that, you know, that y'all don't need to deal with her. Y'all don't need to deal with her, and she's disrespectful. And, you know, he even said he's not going to put up with that. You know, he ain't going to have nobody disrespecting his wife. So you need to let Miss Renee go, find somebody else, fire that bitch, let her fire herself, you know, and I would move the fuck on along. Next, we have Mariah and Symone. They meet up to basically talk about the crazy party and how Symone, while they was at the party, really got into Mariah's ass and said, you don't own your shit. You don't never admit to when you throw shade. You act like we all need to forgive. We all need to forgive you and, you know, like, what the fuck is that about? You know what I'm saying? So, it's just a mess. It's just a mess with Mariah because Mariah feels like, you know, Mariah feels like she's the victim. She's the victim, basically. That's how Mariah feels, that she's the victim. And, you know, it probably should be some of both. She need to forgive them. They need to try to forgive her. But see, Mariah, they can't forgive your ass because you keep doing the same dumbass shit over and over again. You keep denying. You keep deflecting. You don't own your shit. You don't admit to being shady. See, a real bitch would have said, you know what? Heavenly, I was letting your ass know that I did take a dig at your ass. You know what I'm saying? Because you went there with my mother. And I wanted to honor Toya because Toya never did that. That's owning your shit. But you didn't do that. You played dumb. You deflected. And I'm over it. And so mainly you and Symone, you know, y'all make up. And she just tell you need to own your shit. Own your shade. And Mariah really tripped me out talking about some, I've apologized to you guys. You ain't never apologized to them in no New Orleans. You ain't never apologized to them. That camera showed you sitting up here saying how you forgive everybody for what they did to you, but never the other way around. Never the other way around. So girl, and Symone is just looking like this bitch ain't gonna never forgive us. It's gonna take her a long time. It's gonna take her a while to get to that point where Mariah, you need to forgive people too and let stuff go. And you don't know how to do that. And Symone realized that. Next, we got Curtis. Does he have another fucking old school car? He done brought Jackie a flower. And, you know, he's going to cook some dinner for her. He ends up putting a light up. Curtis looks very pitiful. He really wants Jackie's forgiveness. He looks sad. I mean, I have empathy for Curtis. Because I feel like Curtis does feel remorse for what he did. He does feel bad for what he did. You know, they eat their dinner. And, you know, he basically tells her he loves her and misses her. And, you know, she admits that she misses him too. She says it in her confessional, but she doesn't say it to him. So, yeah, I'm all for them making things work. She's been with him for a long time. And, you know, he's somebody that she really loves. So I'm all for it. I'm all here for that. Because people can make mistakes. And maybe he really needs to learn to live without Jackie so he could appreciate her. But, Jackie, I need you to own your shit, too, and stop working so much. And spend some time with your man. Y'all need to start vacationing. And spending that time with each other. That's what y'all need to do. Don't sit up there and keep working like a motherfucking dog, Jackie. Because it ain't gonna motherfucking help you. Okay, you guys. So next we have my girl Symone. Symone is giving a pap smear to the girl that's a midget, and the girl took it like a OG. Symone has excellent bedside manner, and even the girl's mother thanked Symone for, her hospitality and being so nice to her daughter. Symone is very good at what she does. Next, we have Laura and Heavenly. They are meeting up with Miss Jan. Y'all remember Miss Jan that was helping Kim Zodiac, don't be tardy for the party. No. Well, y'all remember Miss Jan wasn't feeling Kim. It looks like she is feeling Laura, and she helps Laura do some exercises to help her breathing while she's singing, and Laura's catching on. And Heavenly is normally overbearing, and Heavenly wasn't all that overbearing. So, I was shocked, y'all. Was y'all shocked that Heavenly wasn't really being all on top of everything the way she normally is with Laura? I was shocked by that. So that's pretty good for Heavenly. Very good. Laura, I don't know if I see you as the next Beyonce. I don't think her voice is all like that, but it's decent enough. Next, we have Symone and we have CeCil, and they're talking about the $25,000 that CeCil took out of the account to start his new app. I believe it's called Kids Force. And he basically took the money out because he's always being laid off, from his job. And he's been going through that with his company for the past couple of years. So, he wants something to fall back on. I am all for entrepreneurship because that's what you have to do. You can't depend on just a job these days. Now, I'm not 100% an entrepreneur. I still have to work like everybody else, but you got to do what you got to do. And that app, it may end up being successful. But, CeCil, you didn't get a bigger percentage for that amount of money. You only got, 16%? But I guess you figured that you got to start from somewhere. So they end up reconciling with that, and Symone forgives him for that, and she was just saying, the next time you take out that much money, you need to be talking to me, and I'm gonna come up with our next investment. And he's fine with that as long as she don't invest in no shoe store or nothing like that. Next we have Contessa. Basically, Contessa is battling between being a mom and always having to be away. Miss Renee is gone. She's kind of missing her. And, she basically wants to be that mom that is there for her kids all the time, because growing up, her mother was always there for her. So, she feels bad that, now that Miss Renee is gone, her and her husband, they're going to have to pick up the slack, which is hard because they're both doctors. But y'all simply need to hire somebody else. I know it hurts to get rid of Miss Renee, but the bitch has to go. Get rid of her ass. She's disrespectful. Your husband knows the bitch disrespectful. And you just go have to, Contessa, you are no different from anybody else. You go have to do what you got to do. Okay? You got the coin now. You can find you a good nanny. They got all type of websites that do background checks. Find somebody else to watch them children. But yeah, I guess the little girl really wanted Contessa to pick her up because when she saw her dad, she was disappointed because the dad was in Contessa's car. So yeah, Contessa felt bad. And, and Contessa, you're a good mom. You're a good mom because shit, you got to work. You gotta work, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta provide, put a roof over them children's heads, and you doing the best you can do, sister. So I would let that go. Next, we got Toya. She is trying to seduce Eugene, honey. As soon as he gets home from work, she got on this sexy-ass black lingerie. Now, don't Toya look like motherfucking Kalita Smith from the Bernie Mac show? I swear Toya favored that lady. I swear, y'all, she looks just like that lady from the Bernie Mac show. But yeah, This scene was a little difficult to watch because Eugene didn't look all that comfortable. I get he's coming home from work. Toya has it laid out, candles. She got a little drink in her cup, you know. She tells him she could take off his shoes, you know. So Eugene is a little stuffy for my kind. But I guess he was just thrown off guard. But shit, his eyes was big as hell when he saw Toya in that lingerie. Toya just took this time out to let her man know, you know, she appreciates how hard he works. And Eugene asks her why the hell she has a dog collar out. And Toya's telling him, well, I want to lead you, you know, around the house or, you know. And he was like, no. So it was a nice, cute, sexy scene. But yeah, Eugene says, I want a bath. And Toya talking about, oh, I think he wanted her to get in the motherfucking tub with him. Toya, you can't get in the tub with Eugene. You already clean, child. But yeah, she tells him that, and he just like, yeah, I'm gonna need to get cleaned up. Do y'all really think their sex life is popping? He looks so uncomfortable being, you know, sexual with her on camera. And I'm not saying they have to have sex, because I do believe he said, you know, he wouldn't be interested in making a video. But what do y'all feel about that? It looked real. Their chemistry looks so weird. I think they're cute together, but I don't know. It's something about Eugene that looks a little uncomfortable. Next, we have my favorite couple on the planet, which is Dr. G and Quad. And their little focus group, they come over to assess their relationship. And we got some problems, y'all. Quad gets into telling the focus group, you know, she doesn't feel appreciated by Dr. G. She needs more emotion from him. She needs to know, you know, she's appreciated and loved, and she feels like she's in a marriage all by herself. And Dr. G basically comes out and says, you know, I feel like I'm not appreciated, and I feel like she doesn't flat out tell me what she needs. You know, I done busted my ass to get everything I want in life. You know, nothing was just handed to me. And, you know, I feel like in the beginning, I didn't really want to share that with her, you know, because it was all about me. And then Quad got into how she's number 2 in his life, because at the beginning of the focus group coming in, he had to take a call, you know, because of his patients and stuff. So I don't know, you guys. I feel like we are at the end of the road for these two. I really do feel like that. It's really going to take a lot of work. Yes, things ended on a good note at the focus group, but because he ends, you know, she gets really emotional and crying and letting him know, look, I love you and I want you for you, because she feels like that's how he feels. Quad has been feeling for a long time that Dr. G only thinks she wants to be with him for his money, and Quad is just like, no, that's not what it is. I do kind of think she was with him probably in the beginning, because, you know, he had more money. So they probably started out like most people, and now they got to deal with it. But see, now you don't need his money, Quad. So you need to reconcile with your husband. He needs to reconcile with you. Dr. G, you need to start listening to Quad, be more emotionally available, stop talking and lashing out and arguing. The shit is funny though, you guys. I will tell you, I've been so tickled this season with they motherfucking arguments. But I just feel like they both need to compromise, listen to each other. Quad, you need to appreciate this man if he is paying all these motherfucking bills now. And bitch, give him a baby once shit, you know, get back together. You know, so y'all either go move forward or you need to move on. It's really that simple at this point. But I do like everything the focus group was saying to them. You know, as far as Dr. G has worked so hard to attain, you know, his success, but he needs to work just as hard to attain his wife, to keep her in his life and to keep her feeling good and happy. you know, you fought to get her to marry you, so now you got to fight to keep her. And Quad, you know, she agrees with that. So he ended up ending everything on a good note. I really love this segment. At first, I was a little hesitant about the segment, but I really liked it. I especially liked it when he said that they were not friends anymore, you know, because they're not friends. You know, they're arguing and lashing out. You got her blocking him, and, you know, that's not what people do when they love each other or remember to love each other, you know. So they both are lacking in that being friends and respecting each other and having boundaries within a relationship. And Quad needs to know that it's not just all about her needs, and Dr. G needs to know that it's not just all about him. He needs to learn to give and to, you know, take what he needs, and so does Quad. You know, Quad I feel two different ways about. I feel like she's not getting her emotional needs met, but at the same time, she's also not giving him what he needs. So it's just give and take from both parties, because nothing is ever going to work unless they're both getting their needs met. So that's why I feel like they've been clashing a lot. All right, y'all, that's pretty much what I have to say on this episode of Married to Medicine. It was a very good episode, and it looks like shit is going to get even better next week. It's your girl, Brand New. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will check you guys out later.